Hello, my wonderful people. Welcome back. One morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on time today. Watch us so. So if it's not the first time today come across this channel, this na constant word. Now here they bring the matter live and direct as it they happen. So my people, more watch this one as it be. So we bring this one so now we go dey inform of what they happen, and as it be. So I hope say you go get one or two things where you go pick, and may you not forget to comment, even like or share. If you never subscribe, you go feel subscribe so that anytime we'll get a bunga update like this, you will be the first person where you go get them. As far as say you put on your bell, my people, more watch them together.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Let me first of all apologize to Umo Chineke for being late in this program, because ordinarily supposed to have conducted this interview on before now, but because of other exigencies, that has to be given a big attention. So I have to appeal for your understanding. So thank you so much for indulging me. However, the matter came up today for ruling on application challenging the competency of the 15-count charge filed against Nnamdi Kanu, and but by extension challenging in substance the jurisdiction of the court to entertain the charge. So the court delivered ruling and consequently struck out 8 count out of 15-count charge. So of course, you know, this is a pattern it took in 2017 when we have similar application. So the court didn't find merit in the 7-count outstanding charge, but it said it contained mere allegations that you would like our clients in Nnamdi Kanu to respond to. So we commend his efforts. We commend his industry in coming up with such ruling. Because when you look at count 1, count 2, count 4, count 5, count 6, count 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, they are interrelated and they cannot be disconnected, because this count has to do with the allegation on acts allegedly committed in furtherance of act of terrorism from a place they never specified, from a place they never mentioned, and which was predicated on a broadcast made from a place they never mentioned, made from a place never specified, received in Nigeria, without also specifying places where the alleged broadcasts were received. So those counts I've just mentioned are all interrelated in offers on this fact. However, we challenge them effectively. Then count 3 has to do with status of IPOB. I want to also refresh your mind to the fact that His Lordship Honorable Justice Nyako, you may have forgotten, had delivered an application on the status of IPOB. That was 2017, and court found and held that the IPOB is not an unlawful organization.
Well. I could remember
it's a judgment of the court.
2017.
Very well. So it's formed part of the processes to file in court of appeal in challenging the illegal prescription of IPOB. So His Lordship may have not advertised his mind to the fact that he had ruled upon this kind of application, giving a clean slate to the status of IPOB. So, but he said that since we have an appeal challenging the purported prescription of IPOB, that until the appeal is determined one way or the other, that way is when he will take cognizance of the position of the court of appeal on the matter. So we don't think it has an issue. Coming to count 15, we has to do with importation of radio transmitter. The courts completely agree with the defense that though the offense was brought under existing law, the court made it clear in court the charge was framed under existing law, because there's something like section 45 that deal with that offense under Criminal Code Act. The court said he went through from section 1 to the end of the Criminal Code Act, and he never found a place where that offense was provided for. But based on the powers and extant law, enabling laws, The court said the offences were found under Custom and Excise Act laws, so he amended it. However, assume without considering to the fact that such constant offence, importation of transmitter, radio transmitter, it is also very clear on the charge filed against our client that this transmitter were imported, kept in Obulisuzo. Obulisuzo is in a town in a local government of Anambra State. So what simply comes to our mind at this point in time, which formed part of argument to canvass in our objection, was whether the court has federal court in Abuja has jurisdiction to entertain offences or matters arising from or cause of action arising from here. The answer is no. So the point is that we are making serious headway. The virtue of the fact that the court struck out 8-count charge today is a plus, serious plus on our part. It has also given us the impetus, the leeway to apply for the bail of Nnamdi Kanu, which was done today. And I believe ordinarily, because I understand the disposition of the court, if the court is still of the view that there's nothing in principle strong before her, I doubt if you will be fast enough to be inclined to hear the bail application. But he said he want to hear it and rule upon it, not even hearing it. You want to rule upon the bail application on a certain date. So substantially we have been able to trash those frivolous and smooth scream charge filed against him. So, and I believe that at next adjourned date, justice will be done to this case. And I believe God being on our side, Chukwu Kabiyama being on our side, Nnamdi Kanu will regain freedom on next adjourned date, because I don't think there's nothing whatsoever concerning this charge, 7-count charge still outstanding today, that will hold back the hand of fraud from granting him bail on the next adjourned date. I don't think so. So all we have placed the facts before the courts. The submission was illegally delivered today by the Red Silk Lieutenant Chief Ozokomesen, and I don't think I will add anything to it more. So thank you for being with me.
Yeah, thank you, Barrister. Before we go forward to knowing what happened in the legal circles, could you please brief us regarding what happened yesterday? We understand that yesterday was amongst the visiting day to your client, and we also was made to know, courtesy of your update, that for the 18th time, the Department of State Security Services disallowed your client, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, change of clothing. I want to ask, was it that those clothing were in contempt of court because the court had said there should be no insignia on the said clothing? What really transpired? What really happened for them to have disallowed that very clothing?
Certainly and unfortunately, we are not privileged to be in court today, in open court, because if you are in court, this matter was made a very serious issue before the court by his LNC, because as it is, it's a serious issue that court, my noble Silk, she was saying, invited the court to take serious notice of it and also make variation orders to that effect. And court also unarguably admitted the fact they had made a number of pronouncements and orders since the resumption of this case, this trial at this point. And unfortunately, couldn't find a reason why the orders could not be obeyed. First of all, there was an allegation of the fact that they want a plain clothes to be given to him. Since 21st of February till yesterday. Yesterday was 7th of April 2022. We have made 19th consecutive attempt to avail our client to Nnamdi with the clothing as prescribed by the court. 3 out of these occasions, Silk, she was saying, led the team of lawyers to the SSS facility to prevail on them to give him the clothing, and they rejected it without any excuse. So in court today, he made a very serious submission about that, And the court also wasn't happy. I must confess to you, the court wasn't happy, because even the lawyer to the SSS, who was called upon to explain to the court why those clothes were not accepted or given to our client, so they couldn't even defend that position. Because unlike now, they have no excuse to be given to be given to God. They have no excuse whatsoever backing up their decision. So the court also ordered them in open court, ordered the lawyer for the SS who represented SS to take that clothes and personally hand them over to our client upon his return to the SS facility. So, and that was another of court. So, of course, you know, XSS has been in the habit of flouting court orders with impunity. And this was also seriously emphasized today in our submissions to the court during the bail application, because if you talk about somebody being granted fair hearing entails also that the person will have access to unrestricted access to his lawyers, and also to the materials which is also contained in the Constitution, materials to enable him to defend the case and facilitate are able to defend the case. And when those access and materials are being limited, then that means the person has been denied fair hearing. And it's more so when it's obvious, and also constitutionally speaking, our client hasn't been convicted. He's still presumed innocent in the eyes of the law today. So, and he's still entitled to his full rights as contained in Section 35 of Chapter 4 of the Constitution. So, even a convicted person has the rights, just enjoy those rights, apart from the fact that his rights, the freedom to movement may be restricted. A person convicted. And it's also very clear, very important to emphasize that our client, since his arrest, abduction, and consequent extraordinary rendition to Nigeria, has been kept in a solitary confinement in the SS facility, so which is grossly in violation of Section 2 of Anti-Terror Act. So these are facts and also laws have been able to bring to the attention of the court in moving the court to granting bail. And more so, when the law is united in opinion that a person, the bail is granted as a matter of right. And there's nothing before the court that will hold back the court hand as well from granting a bail.
Can you imagine the kind of people that we have as leaders, the kind of people that we have as officers, as DSS lawyer? They could not even defend themselves. They could not even say the reason why they are restricting this clothes. Sometimes I begin to ask, is it clothes that will give the judgment? Or maybe when Nnamdi Kanu put on the clothes, he has won the victory, or he has, come out of DSS. Oh my God. The kind of reasoning, the kind of way they reason is so low, my people. I don't tend to understand it. Hey, Nigeria, my country. What has brought us to this point? It is only in this kind of country that you begin to hear that clothes is the problem. Hey, Niger. Hey, my people. Well, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to drop your own comment or even like or share. But it's a pity that they call themselves DSS. They are they are enforcing the law. They are making people to obey the law, but they cannot even obey the simple law that is being given to them.
Two, the court also directed that he should allow access to his private doctor to examine him and possibly come up with some second and independent opinion about his state of health, because it's only a living that can stand trial. A person who is sick, a person who is dead, who is late, a person who is incapacitated health-wise cannot stand trial. So, and it's almost on us to ensure that his rights are protected. Even once we discover at any point in time that it's being violated, it's incumbent and compelling on our part to make it public that his rights is being grossly violated by the establishment where he's been detained. So the fact was also made public yesterday that his health condition is deteriorating, and it also made to the court today that there is need for the orders of court to be obeyed. However, the court directed the left silk to also come up with a formal letter encapsulating these items constituting infraction on his orders. So, which I believe by Monday it will be submitted to the court. So, because I don't think the court also is happy with that development, because order of court is sacrosanct, must be obeyed. And when a court made an order and that order is not obeyed, then what are we doing in court? The essence of being in court is to ensure that orders of the court are obeyed. So assuming the court granted him bail today, then SSS said they will not leave him. Then what are we doing there? So every order the court made in course of this proceeding must be obeyed to the letter, and we must ensure that it is done. Otherwise, we have nothing, no business going to the court. So these issues were also discussed excessively today in court, and court took notice of cognizance of the complaint or also the infraction on the rights of our Nnamdi Kanu, and directed that we should come up formally by way of letter, and so it can be handled administratively. Of course, you know what it entails. So I may not go into details. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you very much. Barrister, in the eve of this very day, on Thursday, yesterday, 7th of April, there was a press release courtesy of the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, underlining the new practice directions on terrorism-related charges, and as well pointing that terrorism-related charges would be confined, in a particular courtroom, so to say, and also by extension to the Code of Conduct Tribunal, not excluding that media personnel would not witness the said trials, except when the Chief Justice or the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Soho, presumes. What do you think about this? Does this has anything to do with, or would it in any way affect your case, in this case of IPOB?
Thank you so much. The Honorable CJ of the Federal High Court has the powers to make to issue practice direction that regulate proceedings and possibly the proceedings in the court. But that powers are limited. It's limited. The powers in this exercisable under section of the law constitution is limited, because at any point in time it's observed that any of the provisions of the practice direction is in violation of the provision of the constitution, then that provision of practice direction will remain inconsistent to the extent of remain inconsistent and remain void to the extent of its inconsistent. The fact is that we have looked at those provisions of the practice directions, and we have the view that there are certain provisions of these provisions direction that are otherwise of the powers of the CJ. So which we intend to, let's say, indicated today clearly during his interview after court interview, that we are going to challenge it. And I can assure you by next week we are pushing the court to set aside those provisions. We are not worried about changing venue. We have no problem with that. But what we know is that the rights of the press to be part of the proceedings and public to witness proceedings is a constitutional right that cannot be taken away under any form, any guise. So, because Nnamdi Kanu was accused in the open, convicted in the open, was accused in the open, tried in the open, and consequently convicted in the open by the agent of the federal government. So the trial must take place in the open. It cannot take place in the hidden. So people must be alive, must watch the proceedings of the court, and also make their opinions known to the world. So we can't allow it to stand. We intend to explore the legal options avenues available in the circumstance to ensure that those provisions of the private direction as issued out yesterday, which we believe are in violation of the provision of the Constitution with regards to the right of fair hearing and also the right of public to be part of the proceedings, and we have to take it up before the court and do the needful, and that will happen soon before the next adjourned date.
Thank you very much. Finally, Barrister, what do you have to tell the teeming populace of whom you are representing, in this case IPOB?
I want to tell Ezbo Mochineke that your prayers are impacting seriously and positively. Of course, today is a good day. I must assure you that this is how it started. How it started 2017, and consequently we got to where we're going to at that point. And we have crossed a serious hurdle today. We crossed a serious hurdle today, and I believe that the road to victory, the road to the fruit of his freedom, is close. I don't think we'll go far from here. So, and I believe, trusting in God I worship, and trusting in what we have before the court, but most importantly, you must have to put your house in order and make sure you get the right law. And also make sure that you place the right materials before the court, before God will be with you. God doesn't help or aid a lazy man. So you must work hard before you invite God to be part of you and also to bless the effort. So, and I can assure you that God is blessing the works of our hand. So, and thank God being so kind, I can assure you, positively speaking, that let's adjourn date Nnamdi Kanu grant his freedom. I can assure you that believing God, that God is at work. So, and God has never disappointed us. It's a function of you people remaining focused. It's a function of people remaining prayerful. It's a function of people remaining unshaken in your resolve and belief that justice must be done. So don't be deceived. Don't lack focus. Don't be distracted. Just continue to believe in God. Continue to pray over it. Continue to also to put him in prayers. And I believe Nnamdi Kanu will come out stronger. He emerge victoriously than before, and will come out stronger than before. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next adjourned date, please.
It's coming up on the 18th of May.
All right.
For ruling on application for his bail and stroke trial. So, and also coming up on the 26th of June for hearing. So, but venue for the court said he will communicate us as to the venue before the next adjourned date. So, why we are going to take steps to challenge the practice direction I'm referring to, and to ensure that it's not implemented. Because I believe that private direction was mainly introduced because of Nnamdi Kanu's case. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come out yesterday. So, and I don't want to go into that, but I believe I will have proper channels to address it, and we're going to explore it. Thank you so much.
That's okay.